Hey guys, so one of the things that people like to say about a person who has committed suicide is they should have spoken up. Why didn't they speak? And then they say to themselves or to a group that they're in, guys, if you ever feel like things are tough, the world is closing in, please speak up. Please talk to somebody. But the question should be, when they speak up, do we listen? Do we even know what speaking up looks like? Like, do we want someone to come and say, oh, I've been thinking about killing myself and yeah, so I've chosen to come and talk to you. This is me speaking up. No, it never happens like that. They always speak up. But let's look at some of the ways that they speak up. When they come, they will not know exactly what to say. They will say they feel a certain kind of way, or they don't feel okay, or they're struggling with something. The point is, do we listen? Do we understand? Do we have enough awareness on mental unwellness that we understand that when a person is speaking, we read it as that? First of all, we all know when a person is struggling and they come to us, we know, and we'll know that, today so and so came to me and they were not feeling okay, but we leave it there. We are very shallow in our connections lately. We're shallow because we have mobile phones. We're shallow because we have things that we're chasing. We're shallow because, oh my God, there is this, that, and the other that we have to do. We're shallow because we're chasing money and we don't want to miss a certain phone call. But what we forget is that this is the most important thing we need to be doing at this time when we're sitting with this person. And if we're doing that, then we have to trust that God will take care of anything else that needs to be taken care of, that we would have been applying our physical, worldly, limited energy to. If we're doing this where we're applying ourselves, then we say, God, take care of the other things while I'm taking care of this. Because understand that this person has come because God has led them to you. They prayed and God has led them to you. You prayed to be of service and God has led a person to you. So can you be of service and not be wishy-washy, jumping around all over the place? So when the person comes, do not tell them to pray. This is the answer to their prayer. Okay? Now, they choose you. They choose you. Listen to that and sit with it for a moment. Of all the people in the world, they have chosen you. So how do you carry yourself? Do you listen? No. Are you so busy, like we say, chasing life? Do you insert yourself in the conversation instead? When people are talking, then someone says, yeah, listen, also me, when this happened to me, And when you do that, then most times you're not even inserting yourself. I guess we mean to say, I want you to understand that you're not alone. It's happened to me as well. But we insert ourselves, and because we are the stronger one, they've come to us in weakness. Because we are the stronger ones, we can easily take over that conversation. And they're like, really? What? Oh my God. And we lose ourselves in your story now. Or we lose ourselves in the story of the one who is supposed to be listening. So we have to listen. Listening requires us to pay attention. So when somebody needs to talk, please don't eat. You can't listen and eat at the same time. Recently, I was talking to somebody, and I think she was concerned. So she kept saying, would you like to order something? Can we order something? I said to her, no. I cannot listen to you and eat at the same time. We cannot have a deep conversation and eat at the same time. We sat together for about 3 hours, and by the end of the 3 hours, I thought to myself, I didn't know it was going to end. I said, okay, I think I should have a coffee because it's easier to drink. And she said, no, I have to go. I have to be somewhere else. I knew that the quality of our conversation would not have been the same if we had eaten. You can't feel your feels when you and then feel the goodness of the food. You cannot feel your feels and eat. You cannot maintain a chain of thought and chew and then speak. It's impossible. So when you feel like you want to have a deep conversation, you don't have to go to a restaurant. But if you do, do not eat. That means you can really look at this person and hear them as they speak. Okay? When you look at them, you're going to pick up on non-verbal cues. Because they are struggling to communicate, the non-verbal cues are going to be your biggest communicator. And non-verbal cues are going to speak to your non-verbal communication. That means what they are not saying, you are going to read energetically. What they are communicating energetically, you are going to read energetically, and then you're going to put them into thought and words and then speak them out. That means it's so important that you're paying attention. You have to let them know that you are there. Whether they have failed to articulate themselves or not, look them in the eye and say, listen. Because some of them will say, you know what? Anyway, it's okay. It's okay. For so many reasons, they wanted to speak, but they can't. You have to let people know that I am here should you ever need somebody to talk to. Be clear. Even if you've left, write to them and say, if you ever need someone to talk to, I am here. If you ever feel ready, I am here. So that when they go away and they feel like now they want to talk, they know where to go. One time I went I just went to have a random, usual breakfast meet with my ladies, one of them from the class. And I didn't really feel like having breakfast because I'm not a person who actually enjoys eating in the morning. But I just felt in my heart that I was in the changing room, and I just felt like, oh, if someone needs to go for breakfast today, I think I'll go with them. And we ended up going. Now, while we were there, our conversation shifted, as they always do. I like to open my heart and say, let whatever has brought us here come to the surface and come through. Whether it is spoken about or not, whether we get into that conversation or not, let me feel whatever needs to be felt. So as we are actually eating, this conversation pops up, and she's trying to say, she's in a dark space, and I can see she really gets into, like, her body language changes, and her shoulders, drop, and she says, I'm feeling this kind of way. And I'm like, what? And she says she doesn't know how to, she says, I don't know how to explain it. And I tell her, it's okay. It's okay. If there is anything, any word, anything that you want to say, even if it doesn't make sense, say it. You don't have to articulate it. If you don't know the words to say, it's okay. But just honor the feelings that you have. Honor the feelings. And a while later, she said that helped her, because whenever she told other people the same thing, they'll say, tell me. And some people felt like, because she could not articulate, she was refusing to tell them. And they felt like she was not choosing them as friends to speak to. Like she was not choosing them to tell them what seemed to be hurting her. And I said to her, I understand what they are feeling. They want to help you. They want to be of service. They want to hold your hand, but they don't know how, and they do not understand that you do not know how to let them in. And they don't know that sometimes it's okay to just sit and be there and say, let's not talk, but I'm here. I will not touch my phone. I will not do anything. I'm here. I'm here. Now, when we say I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, we don't use words. We use energy. We use energy and a person feels like, okay. And you know what? They may never, ever, ever tell you what it is. But from your heart to their heart, you will start healing them. This is how it works. This is why sometimes it's important, in fact, not sometimes, all the time, it's important for us to be in our authentic expression of self. Just be yourself. Be yourself. I don't have to struggle and go on my phone. There could be a song playing and I just allow myself to be swayed by the music while I'm saying, hey, listen, I'm here. I'm here if you need me. But because it's my authenticity, because it's my authentic expression, my heart in that space will speak to them. No pretense, no trying to be overly clever. Allow them to speak until they finish. Sometimes we want to jump in, I've said, but hold back. And don't hold back with a knowing of what to say. No. Go into that conversation knowing that you do not know anything. When I go into these conversations, I used to panic sometimes. I'd say, oh, this person is saying such deep things, like, how am I going to help them? Am I qualified to help them? No. But I would say, God, you led this person to me. You led this person to me. So, speak through me. And I completely drop all need to be smart, all need to be clever. In fact, many times I feel like my soul wants me to go into some depth that this person is not ready for. And anyone who knows me, who watches this, knows that sometimes I'm like, I will not talk about this, I will not go there. But somehow, by the end of the conversation, I have gone there and it is exactly what they needed. Why? Because I came out of my head. When I sit in my head, I want to sound clever, I want to sound professional, I want to sound switched on, and then I want to tell them certain things. If I get out of my head, then my soul leads me to where it has been directed to go and help this person. By who? By God. When this person prayed, God said, okay, I'm going to send you a crazy woman who's going to tell you some crazy stuff. That is exactly what you need. Now I know. When people come to me, I sit down and I say, you know what? You're going to have to bear with me. I call my whole spirit team, my ancestors, my angels, my spirit guides. I say, guys, this is you. This is you. I'm just a mouthpiece. But sometimes I also know that, Jerry, you are going into a space that is for only you and people like you. This person is not like you. But I'm always nudged. And then I say, okay. Then I release. I speak. By the time we're done, the person is like, thank you. And I come out of it. I come home to my husband. I say, I did it again. I did it. My kids are always like, Mommy, did you, when I say, oh, I'm going to meet somebody or I'm going to, sometimes they're like, Mommy, don't talk about your other stuff. I say, you know what? I don't want to. I really don't mean to. But somehow I find myself there. And guess what? It is exactly what helps them. So what is yours? When somebody comes to you, they're not looking for Professor. They're looking for Jerry. Because God wants Jerry. But if Jerry is Professor, if my professorship or my professorness is my authenticity, then by all means, bring out the professor. It has to be from your heart. Okay? And that means we don't rush to answer. When you want to rush to answer, you're like, oh, I know that. Yeah, I know. I should. No. Sit back and listen. However, if you are fully authentic, there are times when you're going to rush. You're going to be like, stop. You know what? This is what it is. This is what it is. And I do that sometimes with the people that I talk to. When we are in flow, I will cut them off and say, stop, 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 stop. Do not even continue. This is what it is. And it will be perfect. It will be perfect. So, people speak up. People come to us every day. But we don't listen. We are not in our heart space. We have to come back to our heart and listen from our heart and lead with our heart. It knows. It knows exactly what the other heart needs. If you find this beneficial, please share with somebody else who you feel needs to hear this. But otherwise, please go ahead and subscribe. Click the like button and then also notifications so that the next video in the series is going to pop up on your feed, or you'll be notified that it's there. But otherwise, share your comments.